Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gig Masters, your channel for tips on how to get and keep more gigs. I'm your host, Mooney Man. On this episode of Gig Masters, we're going to show you 3 iPad apps or iPhone apps or Android or cell phone applications that you may not know about that can make your life on the gig much easier. And at the end, we're going to show you a bonus 4th app. The 4th app, though, is probably something everybody already knows about. But on this episode, we'd like to talk to you about 3 helpful apps that you may or may not have ever heard of. And let me tell you a story. For those of you who are young enough to not remember a time before the internet or before personal computers, musicians had to use a mic stand, and if you did a lot of music like I did early on in my career, I would have a repertoire of thousands of songs, plus being able to read a song with music notation or tablature, or just oftentimes if I just knew the words. So a lot of times I could put a song together by just hearing the song a few times, but I would still sometimes need little notes about a particular song, or even maybe just the words, or just maybe the key or the time signature. The old days used to have to carry around the old, the music stand with you at pretty much every gig, and along with the music stand, you had to bring say a notebook or a binder full of some songs that you may have prepared for that gig or for a particular occasion. And in the notebook you would have, let me set this guitar down. I'm not going to play it anyway, so I may as well set it down. You would have your notebook, and you would have notes about particular songs, or you may have the sheet music, or you may have a handwritten note, and a lot of times you would separate them into category or genre, or a multitude of things. And then you would have a little specialized book like this, and then you would have something like maybe a book for Christmas music, holiday music, Christmas songs, Irish music for St. Patrick's Day, wedding, Mendelssohn's Bridal March, Paco Bell's Canon in D. You would have specialized songs in another binder, and then you would have like your main binder with the songs that you do, the meat and potato stuff that you're going to do from on a daily basis or gig to gig. And you may have a book with notes, and then you may have the sheet music, you may have the tabs, you may have just the words again, and you may have this book, and then you may have a book of blues music or country and western music, or any multitude. But you may have I know a guy that has his he's got books. He's got 12 or 13 books. They're big ones, several hundred pages in each, and he has his listed by 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 1990s. I mean, all the way up to today. He has them separated by thousands of songs. He's got them separated by decade. But fortunately, these days, we don't have to carry around these heavy books. We don't have to carry around a music stand if you don't want to, because, and I'm going to show you in a video next door here, you can now use an iPad, something about this size. It weighs nothing, and it holds millions of songs if you want it to just dedicate it to that. But it holds all of your songs, and the cool thing is that you never have to worry about lighting it, because for this model you would have to buy a little light. I've got one over there. Let me get it real quick. There's a light that you can, put on the top of this one. Well, with the iPad, it lights up itself. You don't need, it's emitting a light, so you don't need and it's actually much better because of that. So the old days of the orchestra pit lamp and the old style, band room music stand. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of guys out there that still love the venerable music stand, and they may use them for other things. Like I know some saxophone players that will use a music stand as a sound shield to knock their sound down. But for the most part, you don't need it for your music anymore, because if you get a big iPad, you can do like I do, and I'll show you in this video. You just buy a little microphone clip for your iPad. Keep your iPad in a nice, safe little case so you don't bust it. And clip it right on your microphone stand, and I find it quite easy. However, the three apps that I'd like to talk to you about are this first one that I'm showing right here. If I've got this lined up right, the first one that I'm showing. Hey, give me my guitar back. I'm not going to play it, but it just feels natural. All right. So, the first app right next door here is, I believe it is the app where I'm showing you the songs, the binder. It's called Music Binder. I think I paid $10 for it, and I've had it for 10 years or something. Any document binder that you can organize a PDF file, or even like an image file of a document, you can organize by alphabetical order, or in the case of this one, it's by genre, it's by artists, it's by any number of criteria that you want to plug into it. And I love it. This next one that I'm showing you here next door is a sound pressure meter. And I use the sound pressure meter mostly. It's my most used app because I let it run the whole time I'm playing. I don't always need to look at the music. Like if it's a song that I've played a million times, I don't need to look at the music, so I'll turn on the sound pressure meter. And what the sound pressure meter allows me to do is to check my volume versus the room chatter. And the majority of the work that I do is in dining rooms, and it's in a branch of the live music industry known as background music, live background music, where your volume should be just below the room chatter. And I know that's going to be a hard concept for a lot of you guys to understand, that a career in live background music can be lucrative, but it has afforded me a decent lifestyle. And it allows me to do something that I enjoy. So anyway, moving on. Using a sound pressure meter occasionally during your gig it's just going to help you get more gigs. You'll keep your gigs too. You could probably read more about how to do that with Rick Beato or Wikipedia or something. I'll leave a link to Rick Beato below. He's awesome. This last this third app is, it's a big tuner. It's a gigantic tuner. And I use it quite frequently. And you can refer back to my episode entitled Tuners. Go check the video out, and see if you can pick up some tips there. I'm almost legally blind, so this giant tuner, it's bigger than my hand. I love it. Instead of one of those little bitty clip-on things or these little onboard things that are getting difficult to see anymore, and it's right there in front of you. So I use it quite a bit, and it's great. It's a very fine tuner. You'd be surprised, and it was free. It's a free download. So those are the 3 apps you should consider using. Get an iPad or some kind of a little pad. Download your songs and other documents into a manageable filing system. Clip it onto your mic stand so you don't have to lug around a bunch of books and an old style mic stand. And use those other apps. Now, for the bonus app. The bonus app is simply any music playing app. I will play music of the same genre or appropriate music on the gig at a low volume for when I go on break. It's called break music. And for 15 or 20 minutes while I'm on break between sets, I'll turn on a low volume break music, and most venues that don't have house sound, they probably want you to provide the break music. And I'll do another episode on that, how to line up your break music and when to use it, and other things you should probably bring with you in a pre-recorded audio file on your iPad. You can play it right from your iPad. Out of the output of the audio output, right out of the iPad into your PA or whatever. And you couldn't do that 35 years ago. I love it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Gig Masters, your channel for tips on how to get and keep more gigs. If you find these tips helpful on this episode, please click the subscribe button, click the little bell for notifications, leave a comment below, check out the previous episodes, and visit often. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mooney Man. You've been watching Gig Masters. Have a great day. Have a great gig. Now, let's go get those gigs.